In post-apartheid South Africa, more than 1 million informal structures such as these house on average 3 to 4 people each and shelter 12.7% of the population. Where under apartheid, resistance to land dispossession typically involved remaining in place and refusing to move, after apartheid, occupying unused land and building shacks on it became a form of protest. In accepting the neoliberal economic consensus of the 1990s that secured a comfortable transition for the country's elites, the ruling African National Congress acted as if poverty and landlessness were phenomena best addressed through a gradualist discourse of development and service delivery that constructed the demands of millions of destitute citizens as technical problems to be solved. Landlessness and homelessness were thus depoliticized. South Africans, however, repoliticized, and specifically through the building of shacks. For example, the Shackville protest at the University of Cape Town in 2016 was conceived and executed as a form of protest. In response to the shortage of affordable campus accommodation, compounded by the continued experience of Black alienation and white colonial hegemony at the university, student activists constructed a shack on campus. In the words of Nomusa Makubu, the shack created a visual juxtaposition of the colonial imaginary embodied in the university's neoclassical architecture with the destitution represented by the shack that many of the university's workers and students live with. South Africa's spatial apartheid legacy means that suburbs are coded white while townships continue to be constructed as spaces for Black people. These boundaries reify social space and are policed by prevailing power relations that, in Ruth Wolfson Gilmore's definition, create differential vulnerabilities to premature death. These vulnerabilities emerge from a dialectic relationship between economic relations and the discursive production of group value, place, mobility, and entitlement. In our research site, a rural town in South Africa's arid Karoo called Graaff-Reinet, an innovative youth media project called Ilizwi Lenyaniso Lomhlaba, or The True Voice of the Land in isiXhosa, made short ethnographic films about landlessness that they uploaded to their YouTube channel. In one video, the community builds a shack from scratch on an open plot. They never intend for it to be inhabited. It is a performative structure proving state failure. Building it is a communicative act, engaging with repressive semiotic structures in ways that momentarily change the conditions of play, which is basically the definition of semiotic citizenship. The visibility of this ephemeral structure is calculated to produce an effect of recognition. Community members tired of delays and corruption recognize that a new frontier has been opened against pernicious discrimination in urban planning. The leader of the shack building protest refers to the shack as a move in the chess system, and he describes the continuation of the same homeless, landless setup now under the leadership of people of color. This act of semiotic citizenship took control of only a small section of the township landscape, and the builders did not threaten the historic town centre, nor any of the surrounding white-owned farms. What they achieved was to assert, if only briefly, their autonomy as interpreters of the South African Constitution. The conditions of play might not have changed that much, but the action opened up opportunities for participation of voices previously heard only as noise to become meaningfully audible. On territories of racialized power, shacks are like chess pieces on a racialized board. These kinds of material and symbolic actions form the basis of a utopian hope for radical democratic futures beyond the current neoliberal horizon, futures in which no human being is forced to live in such abject conditions.